Okay, Hare Krishna. We'll continue our discussion on Mukunda-Mālā-Stotra. Yesterday, we discussed Sloka number 12. Bhava-jaladhi-gatānām dustaram nistareyam katamahamiti cheto masmaga kataratvam sarasija-drishi deve taraki bhakti-reka naraka-vidhi-nishanna tara-ityashyavasyam. In this shloka, Kulshekar Alvar presents Bhakti Devi as the shelter for the suffering souls in the material world. The souls who are suffering in the material ocean, samsara sagara, for them, Bhakti Devi is the shelter. Bhakti Devi will deliver the suffering souls from the material ocean. So, any points of discussion? Anybody remembers?
Yes, Prabhuji. So, to cross the ocean of misery, we need to have faith, and doing devotional activities gives us the strength to face the difficulties that are inevitably there in the material world. They may not go altogether, we may not be able to get rid of all the misery altogether, but we'll get the strength to face them because doing devotional activity by the mercy of Bhakti Devi grants us the faith that makes us strong to face the miseries.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, nicely summarized. Very good. So, and when Kulshekara Alvar says Taraki Bhakti Reka, Bhakti only can deliver us from this samsara sagara, from the difficulties in the material world. Bhakti Devi only can deliver us. That means Bhakti means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, Vandanam. So all the Navavida Bhakti, the 9 limbs of devotional service, as you can see in the picture here, in a anti-clockwise, starting from Shravanam, then Kirtanam, then Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, and then Archanam, Dasyam, Sakyam. There is Vandanam actually. After Archanam, there is Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So, in the simplest form, easiest form, if we perform Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, then we will get the strength to handle problems in the material world. And this Bhakti, especially the Smarana, when we are in some difficulty, we may not be able to attend a class, attend a lecture. So Shravanam is not possible. We may not even be able to open our phone and open YouTube and listen to some lecture. It may not be possible. And we may not be able to do Kirtanam. But one thing that we can do for sure is Smaranam. No matter what situation you are in, whether you are in the hospital or at home, but you are unable to walk, there is some health issue, you are in the office, but you are facing some difficult situation in the office, whatever may be the situation, whatever may be the time, place and circumstances, one thing that we can do for sure is Smarana. We can remember God at all times. Sarva Kala, Sarvavastita. Okay, so that Bhakti will give us the strength. So now in the previous shloka, Kulshekhara Alvar mentioned that Vishnu is the shelter. Vishnu will deliver us. Vishnu-poto narānam, bhavatu sharanameko Vishnu-poto narānam. And in the current shloka, shloka number 12, Taraki Bhakti Reka, Bhakti Devi will deliver us. But Krishna himself said in Bhagavad Gita, in two places, Krishna himself said. Now let's look at those shlokas where Krishna himself mentioned. So it's chapter 7 and then chapter 12. So this shloka from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, shloka number 14. Shri Bhagavan You can repeat.
Bhagavan
Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Mame vaye prapadhyante mayame tam tarantite. So here Krishna says, this divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Okay? Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. This word duratyaya means it's very difficult to cross this material ocean. But those who have taken shelter of Krishna, prapadhyante. Prapatti. Prapatti means the shelter. Mameva e prapadhyante mayam etam tarantite. Again this word taranti. Taranti, taraka, like taraki, bhakti reka. All these words mean the same. To cross, to deliver. Mameva e prapadhyante mayam etam tarantite. So Krishna tells this in chapter 7. And then Krishna also tells this in chapter 12, shloka number 7. Chapter 12 is the devotional service. Okay, Bhakti. That's what we are talking about, right? Bhakti Devi only will deliver us from the material ocean. So Krishna perfectly mentioned this shloka in 12th chapter, devotional service, Bhakti Yoga chapter. So what does Krishna say here? Teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat. Bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat. Bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. So here Krishna is saying, but those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. I am the swift deliverer. Now when you hear this word swift deliverer, what's the meaning of swift?
Quickly.
Quickly. Yeah, quickly. Swiftly means quickly. Yeah? In India there is this car, right? Maruti Swift. So that car that goes very quickly. So I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So next time when you go to India, whenever you see Maruti Swift, you should remember this shloka. Swift deliverer. Tesham aham samudharta. The Sanskrit word for swift deliverer is samudharta. Yeah. Samudharta. Uddharta means to deliver. Samudharta means swiftly, swift deliverer. So when you hear this word, swift deliverer, what comes to your mind? You should remember of something.
Means whenever we get some negative thoughts, we should do smarana of Lord Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's correct. But when Krishna says, I am the swift deliverer for the souls who are suffering in this samsara sagara. So when Krishna says swift deliverer, that means he comes very quickly to save us. You should remember some Leela.
Gajendra Moksha.
Gajendra Moksha, correct. So when Gajendra called out for Vishnu by chanting some prayers, some shlokas that he remembered from the past life, then Vishnu immediately started coming down from spiritual world, from Vaikuntha to Boloka. And he was not even paying attention to what and all he was carrying, what and all he was not carrying. He was running very quickly and he did not even call for Garuda. The Garuda Vahana also, he did not even climb on Garuda Vahana. And his Uttariyam, his yellow cloth, that was also left behind. And he did not even tell to Lakshmi Devi where he is going, why he is going. Usually he comes along with Lakshmi also. But this time, forget about bringing Lakshmi together, but he did not even tell Lakshmi Devi where he is going, why he is going. And Lakshmi Devi started running behind. Garuda started running behind. And they could not catch up with the speed of Vishnu. Swift deliverer. Okay? So yesterday we discussed, right, that we can talk about many things about this theme of shlokas in Mukunda-Mālā-Stotra, these 4-5 shlokas, where Kulshekar Alvar is talking very deeply about how souls are suffering in the material ocean and who and all will come and save us. In different situations, different help will be available. In a situation like Gajendra, Vishnu will directly come and protect. And in a situation where we are not dying or we are not, our life is not at risk, but we are facing some problem, then simply by remembering Krishna or Vishnu, we will get strength. So like that, different different protections are available. And yesterday we talked that there are different stories that we can talk regarding this theme of ocean, boat, all these things, right? So when we think about boat, the most famous boat or ship, Titanic, should come to our mind. And there is an interesting thing that we can discuss about Titanic in this regard. Kulshekara Alvar is describing the situation of material ocean to say that problems in the material world are inevitable. Whether you want them or don't want, they are inevitable. There are 4 kinds of problems, A, B, C, D. No, not A, B, C, D. What's the abbreviation that we use for the 4 problems? Birth, death, old age, and disease. Body. The abbreviation is body. B-O-D-Y, body. B for birth, O for old age, D for diseases, Y for Yamaraj. That is death. So everybody in the material world is subject to these 4 problems. And on top of this, there are threefold miseries. What are the threefold miseries? Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adi Adhyatmika. Problems created by one's own body and mind. That is Adhyatmika. And problems created by other living entities. Adi Bhautika. And problems created by nature, natural calamities. That is Adi Daivika. So everybody is subject to face these 7 types of problems. But the designer of Titanic, the architect or engineer of Titanic, you know what he said? This is a ship that never sinks. Even if God wants, this ship will never sink. This is the statement he made before Titanic started sailing. These are the comments he made. The ship that never sinks. Even if God comes, he cannot make this ship sink. So such a proud, arrogant statement he made, and then what happened? It sank. Titanic, undoubtedly an engineering marvel. Probably until now, no other ship has been designed like Titanic. It's undoubtedly very sophisticated and it's an engineering marvel, but still it is subject to these 7 types of problems. And it was attacked by Adi Daivika Klesha, problems created by nature. The problem created in the middle of the ocean. It was attacked by that problem, and then it sank. Everyone died. So nobody is exceptional. Death does not spare anyone. Karma does not spare anyone. That's why we should remain humble. In every situation, we should remain humble. We should not become proud, arrogant, looking at the success, looking at the achievements in life, looking at the happiness that we have in life. We should not become arrogant. So, but But what we do all the time, is we are bombarded with unlimited number of desires. Even as sadhakas who are practicing bhakti yoga, when we want to stop one desire, when we want to control one desire, what happens is we substitute one desire with another desire. Okay, let's say forget about devotional life. Even in the material life also, we see that substitution of desires that happens all the time. Let's say somebody wants to quit drinking coffee. They are going through some medical problem, and then doctor advised not to drink coffee because coffee contains a high amount of caffeine. So then a wise person should just take that good piece of advice from the doctor and then just stop drinking coffee, drinking anything that has caffeine. But what this person will do, he will substitute coffee with tea, thinking that tea is less harmful, it has less amount of nicotine. Not as much as coffee, but it has less nicotine, I mean the caffeine. So will that solve the problem? No, it is simply substitution of one desire with another desire. This is like, since we are talking about ocean and boats, if there is a boat in the sea, if there is a ship in the sea sailing, and then in the middle of the sea, let's say the captain notices there is a hole. There is a hole in the ship, and the water started coming into the ship. Now the captain thinks that, okay, water started coming into the ship from one side of the ship. Now let me use my intelligence, let me make another hole at the other end of the ship, so that the water coming from one end of the ship will be drained through the another hole on the other end. It doesn't work like that. In fact, it makes the problem more bigger. Now the captain will have water coming from both sides into the ship, and the ship will sink very soon. So all these desires, that we have, the unlimited number of desires. What did Kulshekar Alvar compare the desires with in the previous shlokas? What did he compare that with? विषम-विषय-toye majjatām aplavānām bhavatu śaranam-eko Vishnu-poto narānām. Vishama-vishaya. What is Vishaya? The Sanskrit word Vishaya means sense objects. Our senses, we have 5 senses, and there are sense objects. Let's say the sense of tasting, the tongue. The tongue is one of the 5 senses, right? The function of the tongue is to taste nice, palatable dishes. The desire of the tongue is to taste nice, palatable dishes. So the sense objects are Vishaya, and they are compared to Visham. Visham is poison. Vishama Vishaya toye. Toyam means, what is toyam? Patram pushpam phalam toyam. There is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna asks devotees to offer simple things like a leaf, a fruit, a flower, and toyam is
Water.
water. Yeah, water. So the water in the ocean is compared to our desires. Vishama vishaya-toye majjatām aplavānām. Now we discussed that we are drowning in the ocean without any boat. In that situation, the boat of Vishnu is our shelter. Bhavatu śaranam-eko Vishnu-poto narānām. Let me show you this shloka so that it gets registered in your mind properly. So this shloka number 11. So Vishama vishaya-toye majjatām aplavānām. Bhavatu śaranam-eko Vishnu-poto narānām. So we are, majjatām means we are drowning. Majjata means to drown. We are drowning in the ocean of desires. When Kulshekara Alvar says we are drowning in the material ocean, what exactly does it mean? It means we are drowning in the ocean of desires. That means you can imagine how many desires we have. Our desires are unlimited. Our desires are unlimited. Our capacity is limited. Our desires are unlimited. So Mahatma Gandhi makes a very nice quotation in this regard. Mahatma Gandhi says that the world has enough resources to fulfill the needs of entire population. The world has enough resources to fulfill the needs of entire population. Now, what's the population of this world? What's world population? Even I'm very poor at these numbers.
No count, Prabhuji.
India, I know 7 crores or 10 crores, something. Okay, world population. Google is there, right? 8 billion. 8 billion. Okay. 8 billion is what? Only human beings. And there are animals, trees, insects, aquatics, reptiles, so many, 8.4 million different species of life. 8 million human beings and 8.4 million other types of species, and within each species there are so many, countless number of jivas. So Mahatma Gandhi said the world has enough resources to fulfill the needs of all these jivas. Let's say the entire population is 1 trillion. The trees, animals, everything, human beings, everything together 1 trillion. So the world has enough resources. That means God has created enough resources to fulfill the needs of all these 1 trillion jivas. And Mahatma Gandhi's quotation has a second part. The second part is, but the world does not have enough resources to fulfill the desires of one person. See how grave the situation is. That all the resources in the world, that can fulfill needs of 1 trillion population cannot fulfill the desires of one person. So that is what it means when Kulshekar Alvar says, Vishama Vishaya-toye majjatām aplavānām. We are drowning in the material ocean of desires. We are drowning in the ocean of desires. We have unlimited number of desires. We have accumulated desires from millions of lifetimes in the past. And so many desires are unfulfilled. You know, as you can see in the backdrop, in my backdrop, the water is coming continuously. So we see at some point we see that the water stops. Okay, let's wait for a minute. See, the water is stopped. No, wait, not. No, I think it never stops. It's continuously flowing.
Yes, Prabhuji. Desires are like that continuously.
Yeah, nicely designed, perfectly designed actually, this backdrop.
That's why you kept this background, Prabhuji.
So when I kept this backdrop, I did not pay attention to all these details. So, but it perfectly suits all these shlokas now. So it doesn't stop at all, continuously flowing. The water, the waves, continuously flowing. So, Shama Vishaya-toye majjatām aplavānām. So what is the solution here? Now we understood that all these desires are from impressions. They are the impressions from past lives. Vasanas. And the problem is when an impression strikes us in this lifetime. You know, there are 3 types of karmas, right? Aprarabdha karma, prarabdha karma, bija and kuta. Prarabdha karma is that karma which started manifesting in this lifetime. That's why, and this prarabdha karma cannot be removed. There's no remedy for this. That's why, you know, this is a popular saying in the society, that when somebody is facing a lot of problems and there's no solution, nobody can solve that problem, they say, Adi vadi prarabdham. Adi vadi prarabdham. And then there is no solution to it. So prarabdha means the desire started manifesting. The karma started manifesting. That we cannot stop. But what we can do, what we can stop is acting on those impressions. That we can stop. The desires will come. Based on the impressions that we carried from past life, the desires will come. We cannot stop those desires. When we take birth with that prarabdha karma that we are supposed to go through in this lifetime. But what we can do is, what we can stop is, we can stop acting, we can stop indulging in those desires. We can stop indulging in the desires. Then we will not incur further karma, we will not incur further impressions, we will not get entangled furthermore in this ocean. But instead of that, what we are doing all the time, we are substituting one desire with another desire. Substitution of desires. If there is one hole in the ship, the captain makes another hole to drain the water. It doesn't work like that. Similarly, when there is a desire, if we simply substitute that with another desire, that's not a solution. The solution is not to act on the desire, not to indulge in the desire. That's the solution. If we involve in if we indulge in devotional service, then all those desires will keep quiet. The more we get attracted to Krishna, the more we can stop these desires.
Prabhuji, is it true that in Kali Yuga, our only our actions carry karma, not our thoughts?
Yes, that's correct. So in the previous yugas, to incur papa karma, one had to actually do the action. Only then the sinful reaction was there. But in Kali Yuga, as long as you are not committing that action, the sinful action, you are not incurring any sin. If you are simply thinking in your mind, if somebody is thinking to kill somebody, they are thinking in their mind, but not actually killing. So there is no sin. Whereas in the previous yugas, a mere thought of killing somebody is as good as killing somebody. So that's why in this Kali Yuga there is a benediction that thoughts will not incur any sin. But having said that, there is a famous quotation, right? What is that quotation? In English, there's a famous quotation. Watch your thoughts. Thoughts will transform into words. Watch your words. Words will transform into actions. Watch your actions. Actions will transform into habits. Watch your habits. Habits will transform into your character. Watch your character. Your character will transform into your destiny. So thoughts, thoughts, words, action, character, destiny. So we have to control thoughts. The more we hear about Krishna, the more we speak about Krishna, the thoughts will not come. Unwanted thoughts will not come. In fact, that is the theme of one of the shlokas in Mukunda-Mālā-Stotra. Madraksham kshina punyam what is that shloka? Yeah, shloka number 24. Somebody sent a chat message, but I don't see that. Anyways. So this shloka, 24th shloka. Madraksham kshina punyam kshanamapi bhavato bhaktihinan padamje ma shravsham shravya bandham tava charitam apasyan yadakhyana jatam ma smarsham madhavatvam api bhuvanapate chetasa pahnuvanan Ma bhuvam tvatsaparya vyatikararahito janma janmantarepi. Let's read the translation. 24. Yeah. Neela, can you read this translation?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. O Madhava, please do not let me even glance at those whose pious credits are so depleted that they have no devotion for your lotus feet. Please do not let me be distracted from listening to the worthy narrations of your pastimes and become interested in other topics. Please, O Lord of the universe, let me pay no attention to those who avoid thinking of you, and let me never be unable to serve you in some menial way, birth after birth. Hare Krishna.
So who can tell an English quotation for this? There's a famous quotation for this.
See no evil, hear no evil.
Ah, yes. Correct.
See, hear, and speak no evil.
Yeah, see, hear, and speak, no evil. Yeah, the three monkeys. You see the three monkeys picture, and one monkey is closing ears, not to hear any evil. Another monkey is closing the mouth, not to speak any evil. And another monkey closes the eyes, not to see any evil. So what happens is, I mean, when we come to this shloka, we'll discuss more in detail. But what happens when we see, it puts a seed in our mind. We'll start thinking about it. And the more we think about it, we'll act on it. Yad bhavyam tad bhavatu. Whatever you think, that you will do. That's why we have to stop at the very initial stage itself, from the contemplation part. And Krishna tells this in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita also. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho bijayate. Dhyayate vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate. A person develops attachment to sense objects from contemplation. When we start contemplating on sense objects, we develop attachment. Dhyayato, dhyana, that means contemplation. When we see something, when we think about it, when we contemplate on it, we develop attachment to that. That's why even thoughts, even though thoughts do not directly have any sinful reaction in Kali Yuga, but the thoughts will make us develop attachment to the sense objects, and we will develop a strong desire, kama, to achieve that. Okay.
Prabhuji, here I wanted to add one of my experience I wanted to share, Prabhuji. Like after listening to Krishna Kada, when I joined your classes, uh, to get away means get come up from out of the negative thoughts or some kind of like unnecessary thoughts, unnecessary discussions. I try to listen more katha, more your classes, recordings, kind of. So after some time, I realized, okay, why I'm thinking, instead of thinking of such kind of thing, I would have heard some sloka. I would have practiced some slokas. Otherwise, I would have heard class, kind of at least small practice. I feel like okay, I'm peace of mind. I'm having a little peace of mind. I'm happy, and thanks to Lord Krishna and you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very good. Thank you for sharing that. So Yeah, this is what happens, when we start listening to Krishna Katha initially, uh, people, most of the people, they they'll join for a few days, and then after that they will discontinue. They will not show interest. But only people who continue this, who continue to hear Krishna Katha consistently on a daily basis, only they will see the benefit of it. Only they will see the result of it. Yeah, even I can speak about the same personal experience. These days, um, uh, we are discussing Mukunda-Mālā-Stotra every day, Monday to Friday, and then Saturday I'm giving a class in Bellevue Temple. Sunday I'm giving two classes, one in Bothell, one in Bellevue in the evening. And Monday evening I'm attending a music class where again I am reciting Bhagavatam shlokas only. So, and then during the week I have some services in the temple, and I go to the temple every day in the afternoon, 12 o'clock, and in the evening also, if possible. So now there is no room for thinking about any other things. And ever since I started attending music class, because music is all about practice. It's less about teaching from the teacher and more about practicing by the student. Now to practice music, what do you have to do? I have to, throughout the day, from morning till evening, I have to practice the swaras, I have to practice the recitation of the shlokas, I have to practice the ragams. All the time, this is there in my mind now. So I'm enjoying this very beautifully. So what you said is correct. So the more we fill our mind with the thoughts of Krishna Katha, the negative thoughts will automatically disappear. Yeah. So this is the solution. This kind of substitution is helpful. Substituting our material desires with spiritual desires. This is the solution. But not substituting one material desire with another material desire. So, yeah. And looking at Krishna's, Krishna's birth itself, right? In the beginning of the call, we started discussing how everybody is subject to problems in the material world. And Krishna demonstrated that by his personal example. How did his janma happen? His janma happened in a prison. And right after birth, his father Vasudeva, he carried little Krishna, baby Krishna, in a basket and started walking in the Yamuna river. So there also water, river, water. We're talking about ocean here, but same thing, water. There also
Yes.
water, here also water. Toyam. So, and then now the Vasudeva carrying Krishna in the basket, you can think of it as a boat.
Yes, Prabhu. And that Sankellu,
The handcuffs
handcuffs.
got released. Handcuffs were broken, and then Vasudeva carried Krishna in a basket. Now you can imagine that basket as a boat. So when there is no other boat in the river, in Yamuna river, when Vasudeva was carrying Krishna from Yamuna to Vrindavan, the boat of basket that was helping Vasudeva. So Krishna demonstrated by his own example that he also goes through problems, and then What to speak of us now? We are just ordinary people. So in the next shloka, Kulshekara Alvar continues this theme. Trishna-toye madana-pavano dhutamo-hormimale dhāravarte tanaya sahaja graha-sangha-kulecha. There is this. Yeah. So this shloka also 13. Shloka number 13 also same theme. I think 13 and then 14 also. Yeah, 13, 14. These two shlokas also same theme. Material ocean, boat, Krishna coming and protecting all these things. So there is an interesting thing in this shloka. Third line, dhara varte tanaya sahaja graha sangha kulecha. Dhara. Dhara means
Water flow.
no, not
Water
flow. No. That is Telugu. That is Telugu dhara. This dhara means wife. And do you want to know what wife is compared to? Varta. Dhara Varta means Dhara is wife, Varta is a whirlpool. Sudigundam.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. I am reading the meaning in Telugu book, Prabhuji.
What does it say there?
Same, Sudigundam.
Sudigundam, right? Yeah. So well said. Kulshekara Alvar is genius. The wife is compared to whirlpool, tsunami, a tornado. Very nice. So in this shloka, Trishna-toye, shloka number 13, Kulshekara Alvar describes about the threat from different wild animals in the ocean, like alligator, whale, shark, like that. So far, Kulshekara Alvar has described only the water, toyam. Vishama Vishaya Toye majjatām aplavānām. He talked about only about desires, unlimited desires that we have. That is the problem. That's the biggest problem. But in the next shloka, Trishna-toye, Kulshekara Alvar describes different wild animals in our life, in our samsara sagara. So the wife is a whirlpool, and Tanaya. Tanaya means a son or daughter. They can also be a problem sometimes. So it'll be an interesting discussion tomorrow when we discuss that shloka. Kulshekara Alvar already presented about wife, children, etc. in the shloka number 11. What did he say there? Shloka number 11. He already talked about suta-duhitr kalatra-trān a-bhārārditānām. In shloka number he said, bhava-jaladhi-gatānām, dvandva-vātāhatānām. In the material ocean, the dualities are like heavy winds. Dvandva, dualities. Vata are the winds, heavy winds. We are stuck by the heavy winds of dualities. First of all, drowning in the ocean itself is a problem. And on top of that, there are heavy winds in the ocean in the form of dualities. Good and bad, happiness, distress, victory and defeat, heat and cold. These are the dualities. And on top of that, there is a burden, bhara. There is a burden of protecting the family members. Who are the family members? Suta, son, duhitr, daughter, kalatra, wife. So the man or the husband or the head of the household, he feels heavy burden to protect the family members and also to deliver the family members from the material ocean. First of all, he has to find a way for himself to cross the ocean. He has to find a boat. And if there is a small boat that is coming, that is not sufficient. If there is a wife, children, and for himself, they need a bigger boat. So this bhara, this heavy burden of delivering entire family, suta-duhitr, kalatra. So the man is carrying this burden. And on top of that, aya-toye, majjatām, aplavānām. The man is drowning in the ocean of material desires. In this situation, bhavati śaranameko Vishnu-poto narānam. Only the boat of Vishnu can have place for any number of people. Vishnu has a boat, right? Pushpaka Vimanam. What's the specialty of Pushpaka Vimanam? No matter how many number of people sit in that Pushpaka Vimanam, there is always place for one more person. Even if there are 1 trillion people sitting in Pushpaka Vimanam, there is still place for one more person. So only the boat of Vishnu will protect all the family members. Suta, duhitru, putra, kalatra, everybody.
So we see picture of depicting all came back to Ayodhya from Lanka on the Pushpaka Viman. That includes all Vanaras and then all Rama's army.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's a lot of people. Entire Vanara Sena, that's a big number, very big number. And they all sat in Pushpaka Vimana and went to Ayodhya. Okay. So now in the next sloka number 13, we'll see why Kulshekar Alvar is saying wife is a Sudigundam. We'll see that tomorrow. Okay. With that said, we'll conclude the call here. Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Mukunda-Mālā-Stotra ki jai. Shekhar Alvar ki jai. Srila Prabhupada
ki jai.
Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. We continue.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.